Hey, what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth and Wolt, coming at you live. And this is the Fantasy Footballin' Show. And Jason, this is our part 2 of our part 1 that we just released. So if you are watching this, you can start from the beginning, go back in time, and click on part 1 for us, and that'd be great.
Going back in time.
So before we start this, Jason, you want to tell them how they can help us out, help this channel?
You can really help us out. If you're watching this, just please do us a favor, do a quick like. It literally takes probably less than a second. You're like, oh, try to set the record for the fastest like, If you don't think that's fun, you go also dislike it. I mean, that's okay. More the merrier. And then we need to get up to 50 subscriptions. I think we need 21 more because I think we're at 29 right now. We could do this. So this man over here, he could go live straight from his cell phone. And if you want to see more of the little doggy, you can always subscribe too. Leave some comments. We like interaction with you guys and helping you guys out and helping us out too. You guys help us out too. So.
Hey man, they ask questions that makes me have deep thoughts about a bunch of stuff that helps me out all the time. So
I have dreams about it. I'll wake up, I'm like, did I give the best advice that I could possibly do? Is the best person?
I care so much more about the advice I give than advice I give myself.
Yeah.
Staying up, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have told him James Conner.
Yeah. Even though James Conner was probably the play for that one. It was just to go back on it. I don't think you were wrong with it. I think you would have had to go with James Conner.
Well, we're going to talk about. We'll go we'll dive into the specifics of that here in a second. But so, Jason, did you even watch the Rams game?
I watched the end of it, and then I went back and watched all the highlights. The thing that I wanted to see was who looked older, Brady or Stafford.
Yeah.
Who looked older and they're playing. I really wanted.
I think it was Stafford.
And I think you're right. I think it was Stafford. Well, they both looked pretty old until the last 3 minutes, and then Tom Brady looked 35 again.
He's like, that was awesome.
It was crazy. He was like, you could tell, like, even the last 3 minutes where everything they went through, like when they got the win, he was like hugging Brian Leftwich, and he was like, I don't know why you're my quarterback coach. I'm 10 times better than you ever were. But he was very What?
I like Brian Leftwich when he played for the Jaguars.
No, like I'm not saying he's a bad guy. It's just crazy that it's like Brian Leftwich. I mean, who can really be a quarterback coach for Tom Brady, the best quarterback ever? I just think it's funny.
It's more about just being like, yeah, Tom, you're right. We should do that.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Stafford did look older. I think he also played older. It was tough until Tom Brady, like I said, he looked 35, 34 years young when in the last 3 minutes of the game where he really put on a show, brought him back to victory against the Rams. Tom Brady, he had 280 yards, 1 touchdown. This guy is only averaging 4.8 yards per pass in that game.
How many times did he throw it, Jason? How many times did he throw it?
He threw it quite a bit. I don't have that stat down.
58.
58 times. Dang. One for each year he played of his life.
But man, they were like, if you watch that, and it's just, dude, every single, I forget if that was Collinsworth on that game or not. I don't think it was. I think that's a Sunday night. But man, they were just like, interior line is decimated. Interior line, their offensive line is decimated. It is like, dude, they were getting so much pressure up the middle on Tom Brady. He couldn't do anything.
Romo? Was it Tony Romo?
Yeah, you know what? And him and Jim Nantz were wearing the same exact clothes. I was waiting for like Jim Nantz to be like, "Hey Tony, you got to go change your stuff, man."
Yeah, bro. I don't care if you come out here in a ballerina dress, man. Don't dress like me ever again.
I was waiting for Tony Romo to come back in a completely different outfit. And I was like, yeah, what happens when you're with Jim Nantz? It's like,
yeah.
But yeah, dude. So like, Tom Brady was off target. And like he's throwing people, he's expecting them to break left, and they are breaking right. It's like the miscommunication on that team is insane. And I was really wanting to watch this game because, after his divorce and everything, like, I've had my heart, I've been dumped by chicks, and it's like I go and I got Crest whitening strips. And man, I worked out a bunch. I came back that next summer, and guess what? It didn't matter. She was with somebody else. But still, I wanted to be my best me. And so I was like, dude, watch this, man. Like, I bet you Tom Brady's gonna finish the year crazy, man. And dude, like first play, Mike Evans got his head taken off almost.
Yeah,
I told you, I was like, Mike Evans out. It would look terrible.
I know.
Like,
I had to go back and watch it.
Whispering in his ear.
He got hit. He got hit by 3 defenders all at once.
Yeah. Seriously, it was like his body went this way, and that axis as well. So
Yeah.
it was like a gyroscope.
Yeah, Mike Evans, he did have 11 targets though. So I think you're talking about. So he had 11 targets. Chris Godwin had 10 targets. So I think what you're saying. Oh, Scott, this is what I was looking for. Scotty Miller had 8 targets. All these people had a lot of targets, but there wasn't a lot of production. I think what you're saying is true when it comes to miscommunication. They were just not on the same page. I mean, also, how do you throw the ball 58 times and you don't even get over 300 yards? It's insane.
Tom Brady, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's going to get any, like, I think it's almost like the, who was the other team that Sean Payton was talking about today? Oh, it's like the Green Bay Packers. It's like, that's who they are, dude. This is who I've been holding out hope for the Bucks, for the Packers. I think they're just not a good football team. I think that's it. Because like I'd still trade for I wish I could trade Michael Pittman for Mike Evans, or I'd package a deal and try to get Mike Evans or Godwin. I would love that. But other than like them throwing the ball a lot, I don't think that they're going to be a good football team at all.
There's always that time where everyone's waiting for like certain quarterbacks not to perform as well as they used to. And it looks like Rodgers, Stafford this year, Brady, even like Russell Wilson, maybe he's a little bit younger than them, but looks like they're really starting to be at the end of their career now.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be like, because I'm a Cowboys fan, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, we got to play Green Bay. Now I'm like, we get to play Green Bay. It should be a win. It should be a win because they look like crap
against that defense, man. Like,
yeah.
And that Bakhtiari's out every other play or whatever. So it's just, yeah, things are not getting better.
Speaking of that, Julio Jones the week before got a touchdown on a crazy play. Also wanted to keep an eye out for him. He was not even there the last like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, like he probably hurt himself,
Yeah,
but like
that's what I'm saying. He gives it all, man, on that one play, and even if the ball doesn't go to him, he's like, my back.
Ah! So Julio Jones was what, like the top pickup the first week, and everybody's like, man, we should have saw this coming. I don't know why I didn't see this coming. It's like, yeah, well, you could have saw this coming too. He's not going to last. Oh, I was like, man, who's calling me? This is crazy.
Oh, that was weird.
Did you see that?
You went like all black. I was like, we
Can
lost
you see
him.
me now?
I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, I gotta be the host. And the
it
comic
says
relief.
spam from Seattle, Jason. Are you trying to call me?
Oh, maybe it's my Xfinity being like, you're the reason why his internet is slow. Stop the zoom in. Stop the zoom in.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, so, and also what led, I don't know if it was part of the game plan or maybe because they were going against the Rams offensive line, or defensive line, I'm sorry. Fournette, in the beginning, he actually looked pretty decent. He was getting some runs off. That stopped. And then the other thing that I noticed when I was watching it live is that White was the one in there in the last 3 minutes. Fournette did come in for a few spells, but I was like, okay, did Fournette get hurt? And then when he actually came in for like a play or two, I'm like, okay, that's crazy that they're actually using this White guy. Oh, that sounds weird.
Well, there was a Buccaneers. I get it. There was my call stop, baby.
Yeah.
There was this Buccaneers tweet, like an insider tweeted out right before the game that Rachaad White was expected to get a lot more. They're going in a different direction this game. Rachaad White's going to get a lot more carries. And then I saw Fournette out there killing it. I was like, yeah, bull crap. But as soon as Fournette struggled, you saw White come in and succeed. So
Mhm.
if you've been holding on to Rashad White, keep on holding on because you're this close, man. You're that close.
If you have soldiers, now is the time.
What the hell is that from?
Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Obi-Wan. I think
The
he's
first
like,
thing I was thinking, is that toy soldiers, man?
if you have fighters, now is the time.
Ugh.
So at Scotty Miller, Scotty doesn't know when he's gonna play. They just
Scotty
throw him in there.
doesn't know when he's
Scotty
gonna catch a pass. And but he might do one every Sunday.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He ended up with 7 receptions for 53 yards, 8 targets, a wide open drop touchdown. Let's add that to the resume, please. But the thing is, he got most of his receptions in the last part of the game.
Yeah, and which is that an indicator of something moving forward? So
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what the Rams were thinking. Like in those last 2 possessions of the Buccaneers, they were playing so soft. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're doing the same play every time. It's like Miller runs 8 yards, turnaround catch, out of bounds. Same thing. And they were just playing so soft on him. Like they were letting him. I know it's a situation where you're like, oh, you're trying to like have them run out the clock, wind it down, but they were so effective. They just got down to the end zone twice.
yeah.
Twice. I think the Rams really screwed that one up on defense, but because of that, Scotty Miller ended up getting a lot of receptions, and then their amazing tight end, Cadiato.
K. Dotton.
Yeah.
You're trying to read it and like as a Japanese.
That trainer or the assistant coach from the Water Boy, where you can't even talk.
Oh
English.
yeah.
Hey, there's a.
I was thinking Joe. You know what? I think he plays the same character in Joe Dirt. So.
Oh, maybe. But he got a touchdown, and what did he get? 5 receptions, 68 yards, 1 winning touchdown to win the game.
So I've been talking about this dude on my waiver show forever, and I was like, he's kind of, he's getting targets, he's getting receptions, but it's always like, 3 for 50 yards or whatever. He needs a touchdown to be relevant.
Yeah.
And I was like, Tom Brady loves tight ends throughout his career in the end zone. And I want to start watching for this. I think he got an end zone target or a touchdown. I needed to check to see, but he's been getting some end zone targets lately. So I think he's been picked up recently, but if he's out there, I think he's worth starting now.
I went up against Leonard Fournette and Chris Godwin.
So you're very happy.
Yeah, because they didn't put up. Well,
I wish I would have went against people like that, Jason. I can't remember the last time. I can't remember last time a person didn't get 30 points against me. I don't understand.
You beat me.
So yeah, and then for the Rams, I wanted to were you looking to see what Cam Akers did when he came back?
Oh, definitely I was. I want to see how that was going to be. Horrible. What, 5 carries for 3 yards? Something like that? Darrell Henderson looked better.
0.6 average. And then Henderson, you look at Henderson, he looks great.
Yeah.
And I think I talked about this, but he didn't play last week because he got the flu and he couldn't breathe. So that whole Ronnie Rivers thing, like, no, they still, they're not in love with Henderson, but they like him more than anybody else. And he is way better than anybody else on this team. So, but it's not saying much, dude. It's like, even when he's the man and he's outperforming everybody, he gets 50 yards.
Yeah. No targets, though. No receptions, no targets.
But if you watch Stafford, it's just like, dude. And then Higbee, like, it sucks that guy. Higbee has to be injured or something. He got 1 target.
No reception.
That was it. And I watched it. It like hit him in the shoulder, and then like he looked like he didn't know how to lift up his arm, and he walked off the field. And I was like, oh my god! Like, seriously, like it hit his shoulder. Like, I was like, what happened to you, Higbee? Like, you were a beast, and now it's like, I know he got injured last game, and I don't know if it's more serious. And he just says, what's going on there? Because that he didn't look like he was right.
Could be. Cooper Kupp still did his thing. Apparently his injury last week wasn't too serious. 8 receptions, 127 yards, 1 touchdown.
He's the only person, dude. He's the only person that you can start from this.
He really is, because Allen Robinson, 3 receptions, 24 yards.
So it's like,
Matthew Stafford, 165 yards, and he got 127 of those yards went to Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
1 touchdown, 0 picks. I think he did have a fumble though, and he averaged 6.1 yards per throw.
it's like,
Um,
dude, this is one of those quarterbacks. Like Matthew Stafford carried me to like almost a championship last year.
yeah,
And now it's like, dude, it's so stupid, man.
right.
You
To add to
you can't start him. You can't start Matthew Stafford.
you can't
Sorry.
you can't there, I don't think Cooper Cup is the only one that you can start. Maybe the
On the
Rams
offense.
defense.
On a
Yeah.
Sean McVay offense, the only person you can't even start the quarterback. You can only start one wide receiver.
The Rams had 9 punts yesterday. They punted the ball 9 times.
I started Suckup or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, they're bringing out the special teams, and it's like, dude, they can't even move the ball. I was like, is that the 40-yard hash line for the? Nope, it's the other 40-yard hash line. I was like, oh my god, dude, these fools, they can't move the ball. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Yeah,
on both sides. It sucked, dude. That game. It's like the Lions. It's like the Lions and the Packers and the Rams and the Bucks. They could just be all one team, and they suck. They all suck.
yeah. So going forward, you're obviously starting Cooper Cup on the Rams, right? He was first round pick. He's still playing. He's still amazing. Who you got on the Buccaneers that you're gonna try to keep?
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I don't even think people own A-Rob. If you do, you're not trading him. If you own Henderson, you're just kind of hopefully starting him against. If they go against, I don't even know, dude. Who's the worst team in the league right now? Just like
Texans.
Yeah, I guess if he goes against the Texans, you can start him. But other than that, you're not owning any of that. And then what do you say about and then Brady? I still have. God, he throws the ball so much. You'd think that at least that you could start him and Godwin and Evans and Cade. I mean, we're talking about maybe starting 3 receivers for Brady. So it's like, can you start Brady?
Well, he's had really one good game this whole season. It's like we're in week 9.
And Justin Fields, you got off the waivers, you know.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I've never believed. I watched so many Justin Field games, and it's like, I can't believe he's actually scoring points right now.
Yeah, well, he's doing it on the ground, but he also got 2 touchdowns to that tight end that you mentioned at the very start of the year. Maybe there's something going on now.
Cole Kmet. He's one of those expert picks, universal expert picks that.
Yep. Big old fart.
I'm not letting all the experts convince me of the stuff next year, Jason.
Well, maybe he might be he might be worth something now. He had 2 touchdowns last game and a touchdown before that. So
hey man, if Cole Kmet is on the waivers, go pick him up. That's a good call, Jason.
Okay, so Tom Brady's on your team. Are you starting him?
I'm like, who's on the waivers?
But I know, right? But I feel like even quarterbacks are so thin right now. Like, who are you going to pick up on the waivers right now?
I was so lucky to
Tom
get
Brady.
I was so lucky to get Tua Tagovailoa, man. Like, he's actually killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to go through some rough times with him, but
best left-hander in the league.
He's the number 1, actually.
He is. This year.
But yeah, so Brady, because I'm just trying to think of like who on the waivers, like, would you rather have Goff or Brady?
Brady.
Yeah. You'd rather have Brady over Aaron Rodgers? Weapons, dude.
Yeah, I think
I'm starting Tom Brady. You got to, I mean, there's 12 teams, man. You got to start 12 quarterbacks. Right.
Yep. And I think oh my gosh, that position is so thin this year. I think he's a guy that if you had a better option, I think it's the time to say where you could bench or even drop Tom Brady. But because there's no one out there, there's a very few quarterbacks that you are like loving that you have on your team. I think you have to stick with Tom Brady.
I think dude, you could go pick up Ryan Tannehill right now, probably, and Treylon Burks is coming back. At the same time, I'd still rather start Tom Brady than Ryan Tannehill.
Well, since you're bringing up that game, let's go to it.
All right. So Tennessee Titans versus the Chiefs last night. Jason went to overtime. I was super pumped because it gave Derrick Henry more opportunities, right?
Right.
He got all of his points in the first half. Got like 20 yards in the second in the next 3 quarters. So
yeah, there was a few things I wanted to watch into this game. You know, how is Henry going to bounce back from 200 yards rushing? What's going to happen against the Chiefs, right? Isaiah Pacheco.
That was my big one.
I wanted to see this kid. I wanted to check him out. And the Titans and the Chiefs are normally pretty tough when they play against each other. There was only a few times, I think, in Patrick Mahomes' career where he scored under 10 points. One was in the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers where they scored 9. The other one was last year when they only scored 3 points against the Titans. So they usually played pretty tough against each other. From the get-go, I thought Henry was going to get you another 40-point game and give you solidify a win. Get you that win. You got it like on 2 drives, and second half was nothing.
Yeah. It was a great first half, though. I was like so pumped up, man.
Yeah. Henry looked so good too. When he was like running, I was like, dude, this guy he's a monster.
But I will say, because he kind of aggravated his foot or tweaked his foot last week. I felt because I saw a lot more of Dontrell Hilliard and other people out there than I wanted. It says he only had 3 rushes, but I swear to God, man, like I felt like other people were out there running the ball. Like they would not. Like Dontrell Hilliard was actually out there, but he'd be splitting out as a wideout a lot. So they went like zero back a lot. I felt like he should have had 35 rushes last night, and they just stopped running the ball. He had like 12 carries, and like that was it. And then he got like 5 like just later on, and didn't do anything with them.
Well, it's not that they stopped running the ball; they just stopped the. I mean, Willis only threw the ball 5 times, something like that.
He threw 16 times.
No, he threw 16 times, but he only completed 5. But there was, oh my God, like there were some throws that he had out there that were like beautiful. There were dimes. I was like, all right, this guy, and of course, like Chris Conley, I think it was the guy, the main dude. It was a nice like 30-yard pass and hit him in the arm, and it bounced off and didn't catch it. He had another one like that too, and you're just like, oh my God. It's like catch a ball from this guy, give him some confidence so he could go out there and sling it. The coaches definitely do not have confidence in his throwing ability, because there was times out there where like, Tyler, you have Henry on your team, you want a drive to continue, right? So you wanted to like, you're like 3rd and 8, you're like, okay, man, I hope they like throw this ball, convert it so Henry could get more opportunity, and they won it. They just do some run play, and it was like, stop,
or they'd be penalties,
stop. Yep.
Or there'd be a penalty, and they'd be like, "Oh, great! Now it's like Derrick Henry just had a 12-yard run. Let's holding. Now it's first and 20 or second and 20, and then they let Mac do it. It's 3rd and 20, and now it's like, oh, great! Now, So it's just like there was a lot of that, and like their offense did not look good other than the first 2 drives. The Titans just kind of sucked, but they were just holding back down Patrick Mahomes. And it wasn't like, Patrick Mahomes got his yards, but it was just like they were letting him go far enough to not get a field goal, and then the guy would miss a field goal. But I'm pretty sure Harrison Butker was coming off of a hip injury. Like, I think that was him. I thought it was him a couple of weeks ago that was coming back from a hip injury. So
I don't think it was, maybe it was like an ankle. Didn't he hurt his ankle?
Oh, okay. It was something like that.
Could be right. Maybe it was hip. He's missed most of the year because of an injury.
Yeah, so that's coming back to hurt him. The Chiefs, at least.
Yeah,
I thought. But yeah, dude, like that game was in, and it was great for if you were a Derrick Henry owner, because you're like, oh, they're keeping this game, like giving him a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
like the Titans got a ton of opportunities. They couldn't do anything with it, and they were keeping it a close game, which was great for Derrick Henry.
Yep.
So, but yeah, dude, even during the broadcast, and it's literally what happened. As soon as Patrick Mahomes was like 3rd and 20 and got that first down, like that was the end of the game.
I know. He's a good player. It's crazy. He threw the ball 68 times.
Oh, I've got a stat about that, but hey, continue to talk. I gotta let my dogs out before they pee.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to say is that, he threw the ball 68 times. They did not run the ball enough. They only run the ball a total of 19 times, but 6 of those was just Mahomes, doing Mahomes things, just running, trying to save his life, which makes me wonder, running back situation. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? Are we going to start Edwards? We're going to start Pacheco. McKinney was in there a lot towards the end.
He was part of their aerial attack, man.
Yeah, but it's crazy though, because he threw the ball 68 times. Like, when you see stuff like that, I'm like, who do I want to start? What running back do I want to start? I still don't understand why Edwards is not starting, since he's been playing pretty well. But
he only played on just 17% of snaps last night, Jason.
I don't understand it. I don't understand their
he looks good too. He looked better than Pacheco last night, I thought.
But
I'm like, a Pacheco believer.
I'm like, this is difficult to do. Like, I started Pacheco. I had to, because there's just so many injuries in my other league. And so I was like keeping a close eye on it. But I don't know if you heard, they ran the ball a total of 19 times, but 6 of those was Mahomes just running out, trying to save his life. So 13 times they ran the ball.
That's what I was going to say, because I was like, yeah, Mahomes had 68. Oh my God, my dog is like caught up in my stuff. Yeah, go. But Mahomes had 68 pass attempts last night, needed 3 more to break the NFL record. Andy also led the team with 6 carries.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is. Like, I think I don't understand. I don't know if they're just like, all right, well, if you don't get 7 yards, 10 yards on this one carry, we're just going to start throwing for the rest of the game.
It's insane, man. And then, sorry, I was reading this factoid, just a random thing out there real fast. Only 2 players with more than 46 targets that don't have touchdowns this season: Deontay Johnson and Chris Godwin. So Chris Godwin is one of only 2 players that he's not getting touchdowns. So look for Chris Godwin to get touchdowns in the future. Sorry, I meant to put that. I was reading off this other list.
They got to come eventually. Also, if you wanted to go to it, I think the Buccaneers wide receivers had 6 drops that game, which is,
I believe it, dude. Watching that, Tom Brady was so pissed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Patrick Mahomes is like, dude, threw for over almost 450 yards, which is insane.
Yeah.
And also led the team in rushing by like 50 yards.
Yeah.
And had a touchdown. So he had a great night.
Yeah. Kelsey had a great night. 10 receptions, 100 yards, 17 targets. Are you effing kidding me, Cotton?
Dude, and you saw that, like during the broadcast, we're like, oh, they figured it out. They were like, they're not going to try to force it to Kelsey. They're going to just spread it around to where they're not double teaming. It's like, then I looked at the game. It's like 7. How many targets?
Yeah, no.
Dude, I don't think so, man.
If it was,
God.
If it wasn't for Kelsey, every time Kelsey went out, there was another person that he tried to throw the ball to, force it into. Juju Smith-Schuster, USC, 10 receptions, 88 yards, 12 targets.
Dude, even Mecole Hardman got more than 4 targets, which is insane for him.
Yeah, he got 9 targets.
And here I was, I think it was God, dude, that just sucked. It was Matt. Matt was talking about like, oh, you're making me think about starting Mecole Hardman over somebody else. Like, don't start that. Like, Mecole Hardman doesn't get many targets. Like, and he has like 3 games with a touchdown. Like, I wouldn't bet on a 4th game. And here he is. And here he is with all the targets and a touchdown. It's like, what?
I think the targets are going to go down.
Oh,
all these targets are going to go down. But I you always love Kelsey. Kelsey's amazing, but I really like Juju Smith. I did notice, like, a lot of times when Kelsey would go out to rest, the ball was going straight to Juju. So it was like he was filling in that void.
Yeah. So I think that's great. I think Juju's worth owning. He's a low end wide receiver too. Good flex. And then Tony, Kadarius Toney got like, I think he played like on like 7% of snaps or less than that, and got 2. What did he get? 2 targets.
2 receptions, 2 targets, 12 yards, and I think he got it like in the first 2 drives of the game.
Yeah, so it was like whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody was starting him this week anyways, but
I hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I like Hardman, I like Schuster, and I like Kelsey going forward.
Yeah,
and Sky Moore is just never going to be a thing until good luck next year, Sky Moore, because that sucks. And then yeah, Pacheco, dude, like I'm almost to the point like okay, so we're getting so far in the season. And I, as a CEH owner 2 prior years, like I'm almost giving up on Andy Reid with Patrick. I don't think he wants Patrick Mahomes with a superstar running back. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's just gonna throw the ball. That's all that's gonna happen. Like I think the Westbrook and Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I think those days are over. I think this is what, as long as he's coaching Patrick Mahomes, I think that's what these teams are going to be. I'm not drafting any more Kansas City Chiefs running backs probably ever again, because I think this is what they are.
This is something that's like what I was saying when you would let the dogs out. It's so frustrating. I don't understand. With like Edwards was having a really good year. He's been healthy. And then they're just like, okay, well, we're going to start using Pacheco. And I'm like, okay, why? You know? And then Pacheco comes out here, 5 rushes, 5 yards, averaged 1 yard a carry. It's like they're not even getting enough volume to even be a fancy factor.
Well, in my head, I keep on thinking they're just looking for the next Kareem Hunt or the next whatever.
Right.
No, I don't think they play that way anymore. I think that's it. I just don't think. I think as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, this is the way they're going to play, and it's never going to change. Not for the next like 5 years at least.
They got a quarterback that can make every throw manageable possible, and it's like, why run it when you could just throw it?
I'm telling you, dude. If I could have taken, you know, I mean, I know this is stupid now because he's injured, but if I could have taken Patrick Mahomes over Javonte Williams, my year would be so much different right now.
Yeah. Seriously,
it's crazy.
That'd be a big
that's what a quarterback can do to you. I mean, the guy with the championship team is going to probably have an amazing quarterback, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so running backs going forward, screw them all, dude. I wouldn't want any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want CEH over all of them.
Yeah, I think as of right now too, but you can't even play that guy. I don't think you're going to play him unless there's an injury to Kelsey or an injury to Mahomes.
Right.
And that's when, like, God, 17.
I know, dude.
That's just so crazy.
No, it is crazy, man. I know. And it's like, dude, if you drafted Kelsey this year, so say you drafted Kelsey and Mahomes. Oh my God, dude. You would just be like, who cares if you miss on everything else? Your positional advantage is like 30 something points.
You stacked it up.
I wish, man. I wish I would. I wish I could go in the future, come back. I tell people I can on my Thursday night episodes, but the reality is that's just entertainment.
You know what's funny though? That you say that, because if we went back in time and like redrafted or something like that, everybody would look at our team and be like, dude, your team stinks, bro. Who do you got? You got this dude, man. And then be winning the whole thing, and everybody like, was it?
You know what? My first round pick would be the same.
He's a track star.
Yeah. At least my first round pick would be the same. I'd still get Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get CMC anyways. He was already chosen.
I wouldn't get Mixon. I would get Nick Chubb first round.
Oh. Yeah. And that's funny because I would pick Nick Chubb too, but Derrick Henry actually just surpassed him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, you also said it earlier in the season too. You don't want Henry in the summertime. You want him in the winter.
Yeah, and right now he's turning it up. My dogs are going crazy, Jason.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty much done anyway.
Yeah. So, anyways, I hope everybody had fun, just like us. Best friends. You could be our best friend too. Just watch.
I gotta go this way.
Just watch the original Predator, and then watch Prey, the Hulu Predator. And then we talk about it.
It's pretty good.
Best friends.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I really like it.
So yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything I was going over that messed up. Oh, the pass catchers on there are no pass catchers on the Titans. But I do want people to know that Trey Burks is on target to start practicing this week, I'm pretty sure. So Treylon Burks, if you want to pick up Treylon Burks, he's going to step in and be number 1 right away. And he is the same height, the same speed, the same weight as AJ Brown. He is just not the same is all. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a Fantasy Football Show. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing, or just, I mean, you don't have to. We'll still like it. If you don't like this, leave a hurtful comment, put a thumbs down, tell us what we need to do better. And we'll be making this show better as we go on. This
We're
is just the
progressing.
first year. This is like the first 3 months. We as a
Yeah.
ground level. You guys are all on the ground level. We're already talking about doing a listener league next year. This is not going to stop. So strap up, Jason.
Strap up. Okay.
Be sure to bring extra long socks.
And long johns.
All right, guys.
All right.
We'll see you later.
See ya.